I'm so scared.
Yeah.
Fear is the appropriate reaction.
I feel like that is exactly what I should be feeling.
It's so bad. Like, I'm upset that an entire group of people got together to make this thing.
Funded by so much money.
Yes. It's like there's such a better use of resources.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel where I cover nostalgic, obscure, otherwise strange content. It's really special because I have Travis Gilbert here with me today. Do you wanna tell them what we're subjecting ourselves to?
We're going to subject ourselves to a form of torture known as Avatar: The Last Airbender, the movie.
And I've never seen this before. I'm going in pretty blind.
Savor your life up till now because it won't be as good after.
It'll be divided in two, in like pre-Last Airbender, post-Last Airbender.
This is the pivotal moment of existence for you.
I am ready to start playing when you are.
Okay.
100 years ago, all was right with our world.
I thought I was gonna have to read, and then it started reading to me, and I was like, oh, that's convenient.
Oh, it's not even convenient though, because she's not reading what she should be reading.
The Avatar was the only person born amongst all the nations.
The fact that they're saying Avatar,
It's Avatar.
Avatar, it's pronounced Avatar.
I was gonna say that too, but I was like, maybe that's just me.
No, it's not just you. It's just wrong.
Okay.
Like the amount of water that the bubble just lost makes no sense at all. Like it shouldn't be the same size. It shouldn't even be there.
Should be like this.
Hey, I'm sorry.
You just randomly gonna kick her ass.
That's also another problem in this show. Like Sokka in the TV show is like the nicest person in the world, but Sokka in this show is like a very violent adolescent.
Yeah, I mean, he was just kind of grumpy in the original, but like, he wasn't violent.
He was grumpy. He wasn't violent though.
I did everything Dad said to do. I watched what side of the fin tracks are more indented, that shows you which direction they're going. I saw how long the drag skids are, that shows you how fast they're going.
Sokka is just obviously narrating every single thing that is like being shown on camera.
Mm-hmm.
Is the most unnecessary thing in the entire world.
Katara, do not hit that spear!
I'm sorry, that was just, she hit it once, like really gently, and then she just got blasted.
I think the spear is cracked before she even actually got up to the spear.
Did you see that light shoot to the sky?
How could she have missed it?
How did you get in the ice?
Okay, so there should have been a scene there where Aang wakes up and he's like, do you want to go penguin sledding? And it just doesn't happen.
Yeah, I haven't seen all of the show, but I've seen like enough of the show to know that like this is completely different.
It's completely different and worse in every way.
It's trying to eat me!
Also, I like how he's trying to eat me. It's like with its tail.
Right.
How'd you get all the way out here?
I ran away from home.
So they're skipping the entire conversation about like where he's from, and they're just like, how did you get all the way out here? Despite the fact that here for them is home.
The Fire Nation is here.
What?
Minor issue that like no Fire Nation soldiers look like this ever.
On that topic, they didn't care to make any of the characters look the way that they were supposed to look. Like none of them.
Another great problem that's in this, that like Aang's tattoos. Why?
Sokka, don't.
They call him Sokka.
Yeah, that's not his name, right?
Not even close to his. It's literally Sokka, and they try to make it sound like soaking water. I think.
Sokka.
Why would you do that?
I am Prince Zuko, son of Fire Lord Ozai and heir to the throne. Bring me all your elderly!
Well, that escalated super quickly.
Okay, so all of the character designs in this movie are bad, but I just need to point out how bad Zuko's character design is.
Yeah, when he said like, I am Zuko, I was like, no, you're not.
You're right, like Like Zuko literally looks absolutely nothing like this. Like they didn't scar his face properly at all. I feel like the scar is probably on the wrong side of his head, but like I can't verify that. Like it's nothing like Zuko.
Oh, that's a shame.
Like a long ponytail at this point in the series, and he has this short bob cut, and nothing makes sense.
Well, it's just such a shame because you can tell that they had all the money. He was like, why did you do this?
You could have found someone who looked like Zuko.
Or any of these characters, like...
Yeah. Like, it doesn't look like his father burned him. It looks like he, like, fell down in a parking lot.
It looks like he, like, got himself with a straight iron. Like, it doesn't look like a massive wound.
Who are you? What's your name?
I don't need to tell you anything.
His name should make literally no difference. He is obviously the Avatar.
Yeah, because it's the tattoo that gives it away, right?
Right.
I'm taking you to my ship. If you don't come, I'll burn down this village.
That's absolutely pointless because you have him surrounded by, like, an entire army of Fire Nation people.
Yeah, there's, like, 30 guards that are, like, grown men against a 12-year-old.
Right, like...
It's like a parent that counts to 3 and then keeps counting.
Yes!
Kidnap a child properly.
Right.
They dragged Mom away the same way when we were babies.
They weren't babies when their mom got dragged away. They were 10 and 8 years old.
They wanted to make sure that they had no memory of their mother to make it less painful for the character, less important for the character.
Convenience factor. He's got to get rid of these backstories.
What would you do if they tried taking me away?
I'd kill them all.
Yep, that right there. Actual, like, series Sokka was not a sociopath who was, like, on the verge of a murderous rampage.
This man wakes up every day and chooses violence.
Why?
Because you're my sister.
And because he just likes killing things.
Yeah, apparently.
Because I'm your responsibility. And this boy is our responsibility.
I like how her response is just to, like, try to get him to murder for Aang instead of, like, calm down. Appa's legs.
They don't look weight-bearing.
My nephew wants me to perform a little test on you.
The fact that this is what Uncle Iroh looks like. Like, he looks like he should be in Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, they just recycled the costume. They were just like, eh.
Yeah.
Would you mind if I put a few things in front of you at the table?
They didn't do this, and they also just wouldn't do this because they wouldn't care that much.
I assure you, it won't hurt. I've performed it hundreds of times, and it only takes a few moments, and then you're free to go.
He's like Jigsaw, like, let's play a game.
Did you see that boy's tattoos? I believe they are air-bending tattoos.
The fact that it has taken 13 minutes of this movie for them to figure out he's an airbender is really a tragedy.
The Fire Nation doesn't wish to live by the spirits. That's why they are so frightened by the existence of the Avatar.
That is literally just not why.
Aren't there spirits here?
Yes, there are some spirits that live hidden among us. Sure, they're watching us with great sadness.
Oh, I love her. She's like, I'm sure they're looking on with great sadness. It's like, yeah, we all are.
He will begin to change hearts. And it is in the heart that all wars are won.
Literally also not true.
What does that mean?
Well, exactly. Like, if this old woman read any history book, like, I promise you're not winning wars with people's hearts.
No.
This is a serious show that had, like, genocide in it, and she's over here talking about, we will win wars with the power of our hearts.
I think my favorite part about that gag was you could tell they did it practically. You could tell somebody was just, like, lifting up the rock, like, from underneath the camera.
I'm taking you back to the Fire Nation.
You said
I apologize.
Iroh would never just lie like that, too.
No.
Like, I feel like Uncle Iroh has been reduced to, like, a shady salesman.
Don't even try to escape.
This is a warship!
The fact that the door wasn't already closed when they knew this was going to be a situation.
And why why didn't he do that before? If he had that power to just, like, yeet out of there.
Right.
I like, too, that he levitated everybody, and then instead of running under them, he ran on the wall just because he could.
Like, what was the point, man? Have you taken physics?
Don't move! You have nowhere to run!
Why would you think that when he opens up a glider, he's going to run?
It looks like he's got a lot of options at this point.
Yeah.
The Fire Nation is up to something. I have to go back now.
We'll come with you.
Doesn't this just feel horrible and rushed?
Yeah. And also, didn't she want to go with him because she wanted to learn how to bend, like,
Yeah, there's like a
waterbender?
whole lot of other motivations behind this.
For a moment, I had my honor back.
No, you didn't.
Ong flew us to his home. He told us how he left there in a storm on Appa.
She's about to narrate basically episode 4 through 5, so I'm pretty sure, if I remember right.
But 4 and 5 are such good episodes.
Is it okay if you tell me your name?
The monks named me Ong.
The fact that he answers with "the monks named me Ong" when you would never ever say that.
Yeah, and also, I do think it would be funny if he was like, they call me Ong, but I call myself George. Like, that's the name that I chose for myself.
That would have been better. I would have liked that more than what I got.
The voices, get behind me.
So everything about Momo's design is bad. He should just look completely different. Like, he looks like the lemur from, like, that kid's show.
Zaboomafoo.
Yes, yeah.
Your friends were monks?
Is that the question that you would be having in that situation? Out of everything he just said, your friends were monks? That's, like, what strikes her as the weirdest thing.
Another thing is that they've gone over the fact that they're monks, like, 3 times in the last minute.
It just sunk in. It just registered with her that last time.
Fire Nation knew the Avatar would be born into the air nomads. So they exterminated all the air nomads.
Her word choice of exterminated,
Yeah, it's a little harsh.
I feel like exterminate isn't what you do to people. It's like what you do to, like, rodents.
No, it's like she sounds like a Dalek. Like, exterminate.
I think you're in that ice for almost 100 years. The Firebender started a war.
You were in there for 100 years. Oh, and everyone you know and love is dead, and the Fire Nation exterminated them because you would be born there.
And there was a war.
Yeah. That was believable.
It, like, shocked me a little bit. I was like, okay. I mean, I get where he's coming from, but geez. I have several questions. The first one is, I love that he, as an airbender, as the Avatar, felt threatened, and so he put his fist up.
Yeah.
Your friends were monks?
And also, the things that get stuck in his head, I like that the first thing he remembers is, you were raised by monks?
That was enough to bring him out of the tragic state of realizing that everyone he knows and loves is dead.
The Avatar, where have you been?
Also, the monster thing reminds me of at the end of, have you seen Enchanted, where the evil stepmother turns into the dragon?
It reminds me more of, have you ever seen The Never-Ending Story?
Yeah.
That's like gigantic luck dragon that looked awful.
I wanted to thank the great General Iroh.
So, okay, Admiral Zhao and Zuko hate each other fervently. There should be like a conflict here.
He just like kind of gets on like, ooh, I wonder if they have like...
Y'all got sushi?
Yeah, yeah.
I commend the Fire Lord's discipline. For example, it's...
What was he gonna do with that little ball of fire?
Mind, Prince Zuko, that during his banishment...
And he just looks at him like, Zuko, no.
And is not allowed to wear the Fire Nation uniform.
He was definitely allowed to wear the Fire Nation uniform. Why are they just making up random things?
Isn't he wearing the uniform right now?
Wearing the same uniform as everyone else.
One day my father will take me back, and you will bow before me.
The fact that he whispered that as if, like, the entire audience isn't here looking at him. He definitely just broke his soldier's arm. Zuko wouldn't do that.
Also, I felt that in my own arm. I was like, oh god.
The firebenders in this movie need fire to be pre-existing. They would have never taken over anything if that were the case, because they would always have to, like, stop and, like, light a new fire.
Oh, he's just like lighting like little candles and things.
Like, can you imagine, like, they're all just like marching into battle with like their little candles.
And you know, like when you try to light a match and it doesn't light and you have to like try like 3 or 4 times.
You okay?
How are we still here?
What is pacing?
So, are you the Avatar, Ong?
Like, he like ate a bunch of sand before he delivered that line. It was so dry. Like, I don't understand.
That child is being arrested.
For what?
He was bending tiny stones at us from behind a tree.
He was bending tiny stones at us from behind a tree.
The fact that they chose to include the word tiny.
Little pebbles.
He can bend earth? Leave him alone.
She's a bender.
Did she just have water like in her pocket?
I guess, okay, Katara does carry like a little water pouch at her side.
Okay.
The fact that it like expanded to cover Sokka's entire body makes no sense whatsoever. You notice this man in the right corner of the screen just sweeping the air?
I've done a lot of extra work, and it's always funny and heartbreaking at the same time when I see stuff like that, because it's like, I know that guy got yelled at, and they were like, don't you make any noise with that broom, and so he was like, okay, I'll just sweep 4 inches off the ground.
Okay, now it feels bad. Even then, though, like, this guy is just sweeping, like, the outside dirt?
Yeah, what is he trying to clean?
Dad! This is my father.
Wow, no kidding.
Dad!
You don't need to live like this. There's earth right beneath your feet. The ground is an extension of who you are.
That is the worst pregame speech that's ever been delivered in the history of humanity.
I like the line, the ground is an extension of who you are.
Are you an airbender, boy?
Leave him alone!
Jeez.
There is no way this should just be a consequenceless action.
She just like came running out of like the right hand corner.
Like, okay, the fact that Sokka ran to the center where they're surrounded, you're already behind someone, why not take out them?
But it is funny too, because he looks so excited to kill somebody and then he doesn't have his weapon and he looks so sad.
All of that effort was required to move the fire.
I like their formation though.
It was a great dance technique, but so ineffective.
Oh, so ineffective.
Sokka definitely just killed that guy.
The Fire Nation took this scroll from a member of your water tribe.
Like, in the show, there's this whole arc where, like, Katara steals the scroll from a bunch of pirates. These earthbenders just happen to have Water Nation scrolls?
This was you when you were born an earthbender 2 lifetimes ago. Avatar, Kyoshi, loved games.
She also loved murder.
Just a warlord.
I need to tell you something.
Could they cut in any closer?
The day they told me I was the Avatar, they said I could never have a normal life. That I could never have a family.
He couldn't have a family either way because monks don't have families. This looks more like Aang than the character currently playing Aang.
They could have made so many improvements on it.
Like, improvement number 1 was just not making it.
Aang was practicing, but for some reason, he was having trouble with waterbending.
She's the one that has trouble waterbending.
Yeah, they really didn't want her to have a story arc.
Okay, so if they're trying to play it off like they were whispering, his lips literally did not move.
I was gonna say, he didn't say anything.
Sire, I have good news.
In this show, Ozai is introduced behind a wall of fire. And in this movie, they're just gonna have him like walking around his palace.
It would be funny if they if he was like in pajamas. Like they just committed fully to him being completely non-threatening.
Dude, he might as well be.
Our spies have discovered someone claiming to be the Avatar.
Let's hope, for your sake. My son doesn't find this person first, and he turns out to be the Avatar.
I suppose it's a race, then.
Most melodramatic race in all of history.
You could fall in love here. We could settle down here. And you could have a blessed life.
This is so out of left field.
Yeah, it's so out of left field that I just whacked my elbow, and that would like didn't even take precedent to like how weird this was.
Hey, little one, come here.
Where are this kid's parents, and why is he responding to hooded strangers saying, "Hey, little one, come here"?
His parents didn't teach him stranger danger.
You look like a very smart boy.
It's only getting worse.
Yeah, I don't like this.
Tell me what you know about the prince.
He did something wrong. Prince Zuko was sentenced to an Agni Ki duel.
I've literally never noticed that mistake until right now.
What did he say?
He said Agni Ki, and it should be Agni Kai.
Oh no.
Pronouncing words correctly in a script is such an easy job.
The father burnt his son to teach him a lesson.
God.
Where is Zuko's scar?
He was engulfed in flames.
We'll catch him soon, Uncle. Then we can think about the pretty girls.
Everything about this situation is just so weird. Like, they called him over just to like recount this event that should be traumatic.
He talked to a dragon spirit who he thinks can help us.
Such a bad line. The movement of the water literally has no correspondence to the movement of him. He's 100% just playing with an iPad right here.
Oh my god, no!
This is so stupid.
I guess your talk didn't work.
I like that he's just like, okay, bye.
These are the reincarnations of you over the years.
You see how like this temple is designed, right?
Yeah.
They all like line up for like this super long period of time, and then Roku is apparently the last airbender? Like, why would they design this like this?
They had exactly enough space.
You will forgive me, won't you?
For what?
For luring you down here.
The tiny little knife was so anticlimactic.
Like, you're about to fight one of the most powerful beings in history, but like, just take a little knife.
It's a little bitty knife.
You'll be okay.
Oh, God. I hate that. That genuinely scared me.
It was literally nothing like that in the series. Notice all of these Fire Nation soldiers and notice how little firebending is about to happen.
I don't see fire anywhere.
Okay, do you see this person in the background here who's just literally fighting nothing?
Yes.
I know the editors of this movie had to have seen this guy just like basically breakdancing and just chose to do nothing about it.
Probably what happened was they didn't do anything about it when it was happening on set, so the editors were just like, I don't, what do you want me to do?
Not kill the Avatar! He will just be reborn again.
Very convenient thing to say.
And what a long time it took him to respond. So like,
like, where were you, bro? Like, there's literally one thing happening right now. This is the most unnecessary dramatic music ever used in cinema.
I was gonna say, who else are we supposed to think it is?
Right.
And how did he escape?
I fear that your son is not only incompetent, but also a traitor.
Your king is asking you how a prisoner escaped, and your response is gonna be that his son is a traitor.
I also like this interesting choice of making him deliver all these lines completely out of focus.
Like, literally, you can basically see no one in this shot. Like, you're looking at Ozai's, the back of his head.
Yeah, this is just a bad shot.
It's a terrible shot.
We'll have tea together before we start engines, huh?
I don't remember this scene at all, but my god, did it get strange when they, like, pan
around to the feet.
Why? Okay, why the hell is Appa just swimming through freezing cold water?
Yeah, he flies, right?
Flying creature. This is basically animal abuse.
We arrived at the Northern Water Tribe. We presented ourselves to the royal court.
Again, with Katara explaining things we can obviously observe.
If we let too many of them into this city, their sheer numbers could overwhelm us.
I like how he just explained how numbers works.
Would you like to spar? You haven't sparred in a few days.
Just the worst. Like,
well, and also the transition shot, like they didn't like the way that it just went from like one thing happening to another thing happening, and they didn't change like where the shot, like it's just bad.
What are these little balls of water supposed to do?
Your failure in the 100-day siege of Ba Sing Se won't be held against you.
This is like Tommy Wiseau levels of telling us and not showing.
It is honestly the worst writing I have ever encountered in any film.
Like, I knew it was bad, but like this is bad.
Should we see what the ocean is doing today?
See what the ocean is doing today.
Just checking on the ocean.
My grandmother will ask you a lot of questions.
What might she ask me?
Why is your hair white, young lady? You look very odd.
So his grandmother is going to straight up insult her.
See, it sounds like he has a problem with the white hair, and he's just trying to like blame it on his grandmother.
My hair's white because when I was born, I was not awake. So they prayed for days to the moon spirit and dipped me into the sacred waters.
Imagine explaining that when meeting someone's parents.
Are you sure you want to be here? I will not be allowed to live in peace until I bring the Avatar to my father.
So I'll take that as a yes. It looks like, have you ever seen people do Tai Chi in a park?
Yes.
I think it's supposed to look like epic, but it just looks...
It's like people doing Tai Chi in a park.
Yeah.
Fire Nation is here. Aang needs to ask you something.
I have to talk to the dragon spirit.
That was literally just not a question.
And why did he need to be announced?
Yeah, that too.
To get your airbending tattoos, you have to meditate for long periods of time without losing focus. Some of the great monks can meditate for 4 days.
Why? Why is this monologue here?
I know that he means like they have to earn their tattoos by meditating, but it kind of just feels like he's saying if you meditate correctly, the tattoos will just appear.
Aang, can you hear me?
Can't you see he's trying to meditate?
Give him a minute.
You gotta wonder where that torch came from if he jumped into the ocean.
He was just in the corner while she was talking to him, just like with a tiny little like Zippo lighter.
You know, if she just splashes the flames, she wins the fight. Okay, so the Fire Nation just doesn't possess the creature that just appeared on screen.
I was gonna say, where have they been hiding him if they've had him this whole time?
He took Aang again.
Just wait till everyone's fighting everyone. Then the night will slip out.
Zuko just talking to himself out the window is both sad and hilarious at the same time.
Apparently he just constantly monologues about his honor now.
Bro. Zuko has no peripheral vision. The less cool version of what Frozone did to that guy in The Incredibles.
You won't be killed by waterbenders if you stay hidden here.
That just shouldn't be true at all.
It's a nice gesture, though.
Did you notice how the air just selectively only hit the firebenders?
Yeah.
Despite the fact that the waterbenders were in front of them? I like how physics just doesn't count here.
Oh, it doesn't exist.
We're called many names. Yin and Yang.
Did they just say yin and yang?
Yup.
Well, it's bad when they do it to like a character's name, but yin and yang is like such an old philosophy that
It feels like they're trolling us, honestly.
The world will go out of balance. We are now the gods.
This scene is so stupid. Oh my god. So in the show, Iroh sees Zhao like kill the fish from like a distance, like a distance where he could not have stopped him. He didn't just like sit by his side and idly watch him take the fish out of the ocean, and then like
He's doing the least to keep this from happening.
just chilling on the sidelines, watching him like develop a god complex.
It's hitting me now that we're at the end, like near the end of this movie, that they thought they were gonna make more.
That is a very foolish thing for them to have thought. Also, like while we're thinking about things in retrospect, I feel so bad for all the child actors who had their careers taken away from them by M. Night Shyamalan.
Yeah, because it's not their fault. They're doing the best that they can.
Yeah, this is a terrible script. I'm sure they're acting their little hearts out.
You have been anointed by the moon spirit.
He gave me life when I was a child.
Then there's still a chance. You can give your life back for the spirits.
This feels like gaslighting.
This feels, yeah, very manipulative. Also, I feel like it's much more sad on the show.
At this
It is
point,
much more sad, and Ira was a lot less pushy about this woman giving up her life.
Is it mine to give back if I choose?
There are reasons each of us are born. We have to find those reasons.
I like how he's just like, hey kid, you want to give up your life for a fish?
My people are dying, Soka. Those who are in charge of others have a responsibility. It is time we show the Fire Nation that we believe in our beliefs as much as they believe in theirs.
It's just so many redundancies, man. Like, it's time we show the Fire Nation we believe in our beliefs as much as they believe in theirs. You pull out a thesaurus and find other words for belief.
We must leave immediately.
Zuko just looks traumatized.
Zuko really does have the roughest life. That went nowhere near either of those two people.
Is it Mario Galaxy 2? Where there's like the bubbles that you like swim through and then you jump to the other one?
They are overusing slow motion so hard right now.
Yeah. The way he ran away was extremely funny. I like the glowing tattoo.
It looks okay when it's glowing, I suppose.
They want you to be their avatar.
What gave it away?
They want you to be their avatar.
I don't even know how long this movie's been going on at this point. But she's just looked sad for like the past 45 minutes.
It's like she knows that she's a part of like one of the worst movies ever. No, it's not over.
Oh, you wish.
Do you accept this unspeakably important task I'm putting in your hands?
I do, Father.
Shakes their head no when they're affirming something.
Yeah. And also, they were very confident that they were going to make another movie after this, which is
really
concerning because that's the least self-aware thing that could possibly happen.
Well, M. Night Shyamalan has to be one of the least self-aware people I can think of that makes movies.
I think it's finally over.
Is that the end? Oh, thank God.
Oh god, my Netflix recommendations are gonna be terrible now.
I was just thinking the same thing. It's gonna be so fun. I know that everybody talks about how bad that movie is, but wow.
Yeah, wow.
I think undersold it a little bit.
Like, it was such a painful experience to watch this for the first time. Because like, I'm a diehard Avatar fan.
Yeah.
I was like 11 when this came out, so it was like the peak of my Avatar hype.
Yeah.
Like, just going to the theater and then like walking out having seen this, I'm pretty sure I like cried. I was like, they did everything wrong.
I know, I told my friend that we were doing this and she said, all I remember is that my friend was angry and I did not remember anything.
The privilege of not remembering this. Because there are so many scenes in this movie that I'm just like, why is there a dragon here? I don't remember anything about this. And it's clearly because my brain just didn't process all the trauma, you know?
It was trying to shield you. Oh my god. Well, thank you for being on the channel. It's been a lot of fun.
Oh, no problem. Thank you for having me.
Do you want to tell them where they can find you if they're not already subscribed to you?
Oh, yeah. So you can find me at Curious Tangents on youtube.com. probably linked somewhere in the description or so.
I don't have anything else to say. My brain is just still processing what we just witnessed.
Yeah, I'm gonna be brain dead for the next few days after that, but this was fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I need to go and actually watch the actual show now after this.
Oh, the show is a masterpiece. I hardcore stand the show.
I think we can wrap the video there. I think we've said all that can be said.
Yeah, I think that's a good wrap.
Yeah.